and welcome to episode 5 of Social Media Money Up. In this episode, I will talk about one of the big new rules of Twitter, and also I will give you an amazing bonus VIP Twitter tip at the end of the show. In case we haven't met before, my name is Angie Perez-B. I'm a social media marketing expert, and you can find me on Twitter at Angie9Z and on Instagram at angieperez.b. If you are new to this podcast, please consider subscribing. I record weekly podcasts about the best techniques to grow your business or your blog and making money using social media and digital marketing. Let's get started. Twitter now has new rules, and there are a few things that you need to know. Twitter is making new changes on its platform, like the blue badge icon for everyone and many other things. But today we are going to talk about bots or automations. You might think that you don't use those bots or automations, but maybe you do. If you use services like Meet Edgar, Post Planner, If This Then That, also known as If TTTT, or Buffer, Hootsuite, and so on, or Crowdfire, or many others. If you use any of those services or tools, you need to listen to this podcast, because the new rules Twitter is coming up with are very important in case you don't want to get banned or suspended from Twitter. So also, if you have courses or you are following tutorials or other materials about how to grow on Twitter, these tutorials normally include a way of automation on the way you or scheduling your tweets or everything. That's pretty normal, everybody's scheduled tweets because you can be literally all the time on Twitter, so you need to schedule things. So if you care about Twitter, you listen to this. Essentially, if you use a third-party tool as a scheduler, for example, as I said before, Meet Edgar, Post Planner, Social Oomph, Buffer, Hootsuite, etc., or any service that, especially if you recycle evergreen content, or like recirculating the same content over and over again, or if you use services like If TTT, where you send like automatic DMs, auto retweet, welcome tweets, mentions, or any other sort of automations you do for new subscribers, new followers, new whatever, you need to stop that right now. Any sort of automated engagement needs to be stopped. But, automated engagement itself, it's, excuse me the word, rubbish. You shouldn't never use that automated engagement. Not on Twitter, but anywhere. It's not right. Okay, it could be your strategy. I have nothing against when it's like growing in the first stages, or, well, it's not right, okay? It's not right, but sometimes you need to get on track, and, well, you can use those formulas, but they are not right. But if you have a name and everything, you shouldn't be with automation. You have to be yourself. In terms of engagement, okay? In terms of publishing, of course, you need to automate. Otherwise, the only thing you will do will be being on social media channels, and you need to work. You need to do the rest of the thing, create content and everything, and then share it on your social channels. But of course, when you need to engage, it has to be you. So going back to what we were talking about, the evergreen content or recirculating, the same thing, you need to know that there's nothing wrong with the link. I mean, if you have an article or a blog post or a product or something that you want to share over and over again, the link, it's okay. You can share the same link as many times as you want, even if that's the only link you're sharing all the time. But the wording of your tweet is what needs to be crafted individually. and it shouldn't be repeated, the same exact tweet with the same blurb and image. And also because of Twitter's new rules, you can share to multiple tweets accounts from one third-party tool. So this applies if you are an agency maybe and you broadcast the same content on different social accounts, okay? You should stop that. Also, any sort of following and unfollowing activity made in an automatic way or with a pattern should be stopped because it's considered by Twitter like performed by bots and not by humans. So in this case, be very careful with apps like Crowdfire. Crowdfire is used for following and things like that. So you should stop that and check what you need to do about it, because the automations like you follow 100 people. So why is Twitter doing all this? These Twitter new guidelines are trying to get away with epidemic bots and massive tweets because they're trying to clean up the platform and they want to make things real. They want to go back to real. As always, you have to be social, and with robots and with automations, you are not social. It's a algorithm that's being social for you. So you need to be social so you don't have to use these automatic tools. Also, Twitter is very concerned about people hijacking hashtags with spam because they are artificially creating trending topics, and also they generate fake discussions and public opinions and things like that. And this is quite dangerous in things like guns controls or elections or this kind of stuff. So recently, Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, was talking about the importance of the new Twitter policies for the health of the platform. I invite you to watch this video on Periscope. By the way, Periscope, I want to go back to it. So, well, you might think, well, that's horrible. These people are always trying to make things difficult. Well, that's not true. This new policy is good for you, for real people, because you do real stuff and you do real interactions. So this new policy works very well for you, okay? Because Twitter is trying to get away of the false noise and automated engagement. So now what you need to do, what you need to do to comply, and what you need to do to avoid being suspended from Twitter. Well, if you're scheduling tweet, you can schedule tweets, okay? But the only thing you need to do is the same tweet cannot go out within a 3-day period. So if you're using services like Buffer or Hootsuite, you're okay because they won't let you do things against the new policy because they comply. But be careful, because if you make a little tweak, it will let you publish Buffer, for example. But Twitter doesn't want a small tweak. They don't want tweets that are similar to go out multiple times. So basically, the new guidelines boils down to, if you're trying to schedule something, there must be a 3-day period for repeating a tweet. And the other thing is, you cannot be doing multiple accounts to send the same tweets. You must know there are certain kind of companies that are not under these new guidelines, like emergency services, because sometimes they need to broadcast emergency tweets in critical situations. So they're not under the new regulations or the new rules. In summary, scheduling is not going away. In fact, if you stick to reliable scheduling services like Buffer or Hootsuite, you will be okay, because these reliable and honest companies will comply. And now, my VIP Twitter tip. I always say that we have to be real on Twitter. We have to be social for real, meaning we have to actually get in the platform and interact with the users and with the content we come across. Twitter will show us content of our interest as we browse based on our past interactions. That's how the algorithms work. It is beneficial for you to generate engagement with your content. In other words, that people like, comment, or share your tweets, as well as it is equally beneficial for you to engage with the content of the rest of the community. The easy way to interact would be just marking tweets as favorites, but that is the easy or maybe the lazy way to engage on Twitter. The best way to interact is by actually engage in conversations, and you do that when you comment on the tweets that you find interesting or relevant. Commenting is great, and commenting is the best way to generate engagement, be noticed, being favored by Twitter since you are an active user, and also is great for conveying your message to other audiences outside your circle of followers. Normally, when we have something to say, when we see a tweet, we have the option to click or comment and write down a comment there. And this is indeed the formal way to leave a comment on Twitter. But here is when my VIP tip comes to play. So, this is my VIP Twitter tip. When commenting on a tweet, instead of using the comment box, click on the option quote tweet. Yeah, the option quote tweet, and leave your comment there. Yes. What do you get when you do that? Well, you create a new tweet. Instead of your comment being buried in the comments thread, your message goes on top of the original tweet, and the owner of the tweet will appreciate your retweet. So now you know one of the best kept secrets for increasing engagement rate on Twitter. I hope that this is helpful for you. If you want to know more Twitter tips, don't forget to download my free mini ebook, How to Increase Your Twitter Engagement, available on my website angieperesb.com. In any case, I will leave the direct link to the free ebook on the show notes on my website at angieperesb.com/podcast. Don't forget to leave your comments in our Facebook group called Social Media Money Up, a place for collaborations, requesting help, sharing your project, asking questions, inspiring, and learning from one another. See you in the next episode of Social Media Money Up. Happy socializing!